What's up, snake fans? Dave Palumbo here for Muscle Serpents Daily, and we're going to be checking out some cool snakes on this Friday. This was a rough week for me. I had to have a thyroid needle biopsy done. They found a little nodule on my thyroid, looked suspicious. So I had to go to my friend. My high school friend is actually an endocrinologist in Miami. So I drove to him. I did a whole video on my RX Muscle YouTube channel if you want to check that out and see what that little adventure was like. I had to get a needle stuck in my neck 4 times, no anesthesia. Didn't really hurt that much. It was a little uncomfortable, but anyway, we'll find out next week if anything's up with that. But so I kind of was a little behind in videos this week. I got one up, and this will be the second one. So hopefully this will be good, and you guys will have your fill of Palumbo's, Pythons, and Boas at Muscle Serpents University for the week. Maybe I'll get a weekend one done. You never know. Sometimes something crazy could happen on the weekend, and I'll try to get that out as well if something does. Hopefully next week, you know, the blue tongues are waking up. Hopefully I'll try to do some breeding action, some breeding videos with the blue tongue skinks. This will be my first year actually trying to breed them. I tried last year a little bit, but I really didn't know what I was doing, and I think I didn't winter them right. So this year they kind of went down on their own, and they woke up on their own just by me really lowering temps a lot in my snake room this year. So fingers crossed. I actually even caught a lock on my olive pythons, which is unbelievable. Maybe I'll put that little quick footage up. I didn't want to disturb them. I was so nervous, but it was the only one I caught. Like I tell you guys, sometimes at night you get locks, you don't even know it. You might have snakes that lock, you never see them lock because they just do it when you're not there. That's the way it goes. Let's go into the snake room here and take a look and see some cool stuff. Boas and ball pythons and carpet pythons, and you never know what else. I had to show this diamond python that I got from Tom Crutchfield. I have 2 of them. I have a Stardust one, and this is kind of a regular one, but this girl is getting some amazing colors as she's getting older. She was really dark. She was black pretty much when I first got her. And wow, is she really coming into her own color-wise. I mean, look at those yellows in there. Spectacular. Diamond pythons are becoming like one of my favorite snakes. I really want to build some display cages for them, I think, because they're gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I have 2 gorgeous females. This coming season, I'm hopefully going to get a male from Tom. He was very low on males the past 2 years, and I figured I got to grow my females up anyway before they're going to breed. And this female is just absolutely spectacular looking. I really wanted to show her off, and I'm so happy. And Tom's got purebred diamonds. There's no other blood in there. These have come, you know, directly from like zoo collections that were imported years and years ago. He's been breeding these things for years. He breeds them outside too, here in South Florida. And I'm so happy and feel blessed to be able to, you know, carry on the diamond python tradition here in pure form. Just look at that gorgeous girl. Is that a beautiful, look at that eye, look at that face. So nice too. She's really nice looking snake and very well tempered. She'll be moving into a bigger cage soon. You know, I like when they're small to keep them in very small enclosures. She'll perch on top of this high box and just sit there because, you know, the diamonds they're kind of arboreal, semi-arboreal, and they like to like attack from above. So when I put the like hoppers in here, and she'll go after them like, you know, like she's stalking them. So great looking snake. You're looking for something like cool, this is the way to go. We have a very happy snake here. This is my Paradigm Blood female from 2 years ago that I produced here, right at Palumbo's, Pythons, and Boas. She's my holdback. She is got an upgrade to the 4-foot cage. She was definitely getting a little too crammed in what she was in. And actually, I'm going to be upgrading a lot of snakes over the next week because I got my freedom breeders in. This space opened up because I had a Burmese python in here. My champagne went into a bigger cage the other day. So this little girl, or a big girl, she's moved up. She might even breed next season. We don't know. I'll have to see how she does and what size she puts on. Right now she's really looking good. I have a sister of hers from a different litter from the year before, actually from 2 years before, that's probably almost about the same size as she is, because that was a slow grower. She was a run to the litter. This one was always a really good eater. She was growing right from day one. Once again, this is the Paradigm, which is the Sharp Albino, and the Boa Woman Caramel, sharing the same allele. That means they lined up on the same gene. They produce a creamy looking in-between albino and T-positive. We call this a Paradigm. And then she's also got the recessive gene, the blood in there. So she's a Paradigm blood. Really nice light coloring. And she should be producing some nice babies over the next, how many years of her life. It's always nice to see it grow up, or something you produced in your own facility, moving up to the breeding schedule. This might be the first year actually that I actually bred some boas that I produced some females at least. The males have bred, because males only need to be about 18 months old, but females need to be 3-4 years old. I hadn't been breeding boas that long to really have a female grow up though, and so this coming year, hopefully we'll see some females produced, and then obviously over the next couple of years I'll start seeing some more fruits of my labor, so to speak. So nice update. Anyway, I had one of my carpet pythons that I've produced. Gorgeous 66% head snow, female, that I'm growing up. She's from 18. I had her in this cage. These are animal plastics cages, which I really like them. I probably shouldn't have got white. I probably should get a black, but it's hard to keep them really clean. But what had happened was, when you put these cages together, you silicone all the seams so that if they pee and it gets through, it's not going to, leak. But this one was leaking, as you can see, right there. I'm going to clean that up. So I had to re-silicone over here, the seam, and I moved her into the cage up here temporarily, or I can leave her in there, it doesn't matter. Luckily I have empty cages. And so now this cage is being sealed, cleaned, and we'll leave it, be. I have another carpet I'm going to move into this one probably anyway. Right here is a 2019 I have in here. This is an albino who just shed. Where is she? She's hiding. Oh, she's all wrapped up in the paper, but she just had a really nice shed. So these are really nice for carpet pythons, these animal plastics. I have some male Burms in there that I'm growing up. They're gonna get too big for it pretty soon. But these are perfect for carpets, can live their whole life in here pretty much, unless they're really big. My really bigger females I put in here. The males I'll put sometimes in here, or the smaller grow up females, and then I go to the vision cages, which are higher, because the carpets really, these glasses really need to be cleaned. The females, need more room because they're bigger. But anyway, make sure with the animal plastics you seal your seams, or you're going to get urine leaking out. I thought I had them sealed really well, but evidently not. This female boa is going to be moving up to a bigger cage. She'll be going into a B70 tub probably. She's not ready for a big 4-foot cage yet, but she is my Orangasm, which is like a pastel line. She's also Eclipse, which is a leopard motley, and she's het albino. She's a 19, she's 2 years old, and hopefully, over the next, probably in 2 years, she'll be ready to start breeding. Really pretty. A lot of these, the Eclipses are mostly like dark, black, chocolatey. This has got this red infusion in it because it's got that Orangasm pastel line in it. She's also possible jungle, which could definitely be adding a little bit more color than we're used to seeing in the Eclipse. Really, the Eclipses are they don't have saddle, but they definitely have they definitely have some striping. Sometimes you can see they're not like completely devoid of pattern, and that's cool because that kind of still adds a little bit of contrast and stuff like that. Sometimes if they're just one color, it kind of gets a little boring. But really nice female that I'm growing up. I had done a trade with someone. I'd given him a male. He gave me his female. He needed a male in his breeding program. An Eclipse had albino. He gave me his female, and it was fine because I had been pretty heavy in males that year. So I'm pretty happy with this female. Here's a really, really beautiful triple het Burmese python. And I'm not even going to tell you what he's het for. It doesn't even matter. But, you know, he's obviously, he doesn't look exactly normal, but he's, you know, technically a normal that's just carrying 3 genes in the het heterozygous form. He just shed. So he's looking absolutely gorgeous. And, you know, it's funny because, you know, we never see, very rarely at least in most people's collections, we don't see normal looking Burms. You know, we see albinos and greens and granites and labyrinths and pieds and all kinds of fancy stuff going on. And that's great. I love all that stuff. But sometimes it's cool to have like a normal looking Burm in your collection. But look at that head. That head is anything but normal. Look at that like V, that spear head right on the top there. Really nice looking boy. And he'll be in the breeding program, you know, down the road next year probably, or maybe after that, depending on how, you know, quickly he grows. Just really like nice looking boy. Burms in the het form definitely have pattern changes, you know, to what we normally would see in a wild, you know, wild caught or wild, you know, type. And a lot of people can pick out, you know, what hets are actually in there just by the way the pattern looks. So that's kind of cool. Just thought I'd say that. And those Burms love to blow air, especially when they're little. Gorgeous, gorgeous female I'm breeding that I produced a couple years ago. This is a blood. I also believe it's a Gilbert T positive. That's why it's such a light looking blood. Now there's also some Hog Island blood in here. So Hog Island Boas are locality boas that tend to be just by their sheer polygenic breeding, because they were like isolated on this island. They're very light colored snakes. So I'm pretty sure this is a Gilbert T positive and blood together, which would I guess make it an El Diablo. And she's, once again, potentially, you know, she definitely has some Hog Island blood in her. How much, I just don't know. She's 66% het leopard too. Now she's got bow tie saddles. She potentially could be leopard, I'm not sure. I'm breeding her back to her father, which is a triple het leopard blood Gilbert T positive. So obviously the goal would be to hit the triple, your recessive, which would be the blood T positive leopard. I have yet to produce a blood leopard. I keep striking out, but I made a gamble last year and it didn't pay off because I don't think the father proved out to be a het leopard. He was a 66%er. I should have used this father, but anyway, so we're gonna see what we produce this year from this girl if she goes. I've seen some locks. Hopefully we'll get something from her. I don't know if I've seen any ovulations yet from her, but we're gonna leave them alone. They still got some work to do. Beautiful, beautiful looking blood though. This potentially could be a really nice breeding. This is my Pastel Panther Pie female. And this is her son I bred. I produced him a year and a half ago. And he is pretty much, I'm pretty convinced, is a Pastel Super Panther Pie. I thought originally it was Super Pastel, but I don't think so. His head just doesn't look it enough. And you can see he's got that rust colored, which is really cool. Look at those dark outlines. So I'm hoping we can produce some, you know, a lot of Super Pastel, Super Panther Pies with this breeding. She went last year, obviously. Actually, this girl took off the year last year. And she produced the year before that. And that was, she only produced 2 eggs. This boy and his sister. His sister's not ready to breed yet. So we'll see what happens. Interesting, it's from Frakenut, the Panther gene. And I really love this Super Panther Pie combination because of that, the way it looks with the rust with the black outlining. I mean, that's just, really, I'm into, like I said, contrast and like artistic looking, you know, snakes. And he's an adult. He looked even wackier when he was first born, but really kept some really nice. Look at this gold flaking with the black rigid, you know, outlining. Beautiful. People asked for a little update on my Ultraviolet Holdback. This is the Super Hurricane Enchi Hypo Rainbow combination. He jammed down a nice big meal, so he's digesting. You can see those really crazy hurricane swirls there, some wacky looking, you know, yellow outlined stuff, oranges in the head, and purple saturation through here. I should really take him outside, but I don't know. He's digesting, so we're gonna leave him alone. Hopefully next year he'll be ready to breed. Really happy with the way he turned out. You guys saw the one I released in a trade, but he's staying here with his sister. His sister's putting on some nice size too. Here's a VPI Axanthic Bamboo Fire that I produced in 18, I think this is? Yeah, this is 19, sorry. And she is pretty much a holdback at this point, but someone had inquired about her actually and really was interested in her. So there's a possibility I might sell her. She definitely has some nice size and probably will breed next year. Looking really good. That Bamboo Fire Axanthic combination is just stellar. It really is. I really love it. I still have some 2020s available too. If you look on my Morph Market page, you can check those out. Very interesting. Bamboo really has almost like an Axanthic look to it anyway. Fire also, you know, you put fire into Axanthic and it just makes it even crazier looking, lightens it up. So these three genes work really well together. And this is my mysterious potential Panda Pie. He was produced by in a litter where I got no Panda Pies, but there was potential for Panda Pies because the dad was a black pastel pie, the mother was a black pastel het pie, and I've produced pandas from them. I wasn't sure because there is some, I mean that blotch right there would tell you Panda Pie, super black pastel pie. The head is pretty close too, but I see a stripe on it, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. But then the tail has some striping in it, and usually the super black pastels are all black, so I just don't know, and I know it. I held him back because he's so nice looking that, you know, I just didn't want to let him go. That black splotch alone is worth keeping him back. So I actually have two black pastel male pies. I love black pastel pies so much that I've actually held a backup. You know, I don't want to, because God forbid one dies, you know, and I don't have backup. I just love that. You can never go wrong mixing black pastel pie into anything, basically, as far as I'm concerned. So this boy will be held back next year. He'll be breeding too, and we'll have to see if we can prove him out, see if he actually is a Panda Pie or not, which will be a pretty easy test because everything that he's bred to should be black pastel. If he is indeed a super black pastel pie, which would be the Panda Pie. If we get some babies that are not black pastel, then we know that he's just a really nice looking black pastel pie. So yeah, you gotta, you know, sometimes you gotta just take chances. If I sold him as a black pastel pie and then it proved that, I would want to kill myself because Panda Pies are not easy to produce. And I gotta be honest with you, I've been really lucky because my line of black pastel pies is very, 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 I don't think I've had maybe one, actually I've had no deformities really, you know, but, you know, not all snakes are perfect, but I've had no deformities with a duckbill, you know, mouth or anything like that. So in that sense, knock on wood, I've been really, really lucky. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this Friday afternoon. I hope you guys are having a great, great day, and you hope you guys have a great weekend. Valentine's Day, make sure you make a nice card. My dad always says the best gift to give someone is a customized card. So my whole life on Father's Day, Christmas, my dad's birthday, I always had and my mother's, of course, I had to do custom cards. I had to color something and write something that is from my own heart in the card, and I've been doing that ever since. And everyone in my family gets custom cards. I don't buy cards in the store. And my father always told me he didn't even care about gifts. He just wanted that custom card. So I'm telling you, do it. Get a pack of magic markers, get some paper, fold it, make your own card, be creative, and I guarantee you that will go a long way. You don't have to buy expensive gifts and bouquets of flowers that cost $50 and then they're gonna die in a week. Make a customized card. The time you take and put into that card, and if you want to put a little snake picture in there you draw, that's cool too. But I'm telling you, the time you put into that, your significant other, whether it be boy or girl, male or female, will really, really appreciate it, and it will have an impact, and they'll keep it forever because it came from you. All right, guys, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, hit the like button. We'll see you back Monday morning.